Six world powers and Iran are seeking to reach a last-minute deal on Tehran's nuclear program as both sides make a final push ahead of Monday's deadline. With more, we turn to Paul Lee at the News Center. Paul, are they getting any closer to striking agreement at this point?
Well, reports say there's been a flurry of diplomatic activity going on in Vienna where the respective foreign ministers have been locked in negotiations. But with just hours left before the final interim deal expires, time is running out. Our Choi You-sun reports.
While the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council and Germany make last-ditch efforts to reach an agreement on Iran's nuclear program by November 24th, expectations are that the deadline will be extended. Officials involved in talks in Vienna on Sunday said a second extension was being considered as the two sides were in no way near a comprehensive agreement on Tehran curbing its nuclear development in return for the US and the EU lifting sanctions. The six powers already postponed the deadline once back in July. The so-called P51 and Iran differ significantly on how much of its nuclear program Iran should give up and when the international community should ease sanctions.
Here we're still quite a long way apart, and there are some very tough and complex issues to deal with, but we're all focused right now on trying to get that deal done.
While a comprehensive deal is unlikely to be realized by Monday, the BBC, citing Iranian sources, said a political agreement of some sort or a reference to parameters of a future deal may be announced.
I won't anticipate the results, but we're continuing to work. We have a final deadline for tomorrow night to find an agreement, but it has to be positive and enable us to work for peace.
Amid the uncertainties, Reuters, citing Iranian sources, says Tehran has a plan B that involves turning to Beijing and Moscow, both of which hold veto power at the UN for diplomatic and economic cooperation if no deal is made in Vienna. The feasibility of that plan, however, is being questioned as China faces a slowing economy at home and Russia is facing its own international sanctions for its intervention in Ukraine. Choi You-sun, Arirang News.